Lovely. Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, Africa, and warm welcome to my life experience with IP right here on KBN TV from Zambia's capital city, Lusaka. And I am your host, Innocent Piri. Now, the Sekwiba Sikota State Council is one of Zambia's most experienced legal minds and political figures. He has spent decades sharpening the country's political and constitutionalism in the country, but also making him a respectable and also a veteran politician in the country. From serving as first vice president in the United Party for National Development, UPND, under late Anderson Kambela Mazoka, and later founded his own political party, the United Liberal Party, ULP. He has remained consistent voice in opposition politics and governance debates. Mr. Sikota is known for his strong views and on constitutionalism, democracy, accountability. He has also been involved in coalition politics through the United Kwacha Alliance, which was known as UKA. Tonight, we explore the life experience of State Council in Honorable Sekwiba Sikota. We take off the jacket of him being a politician. We look at the other side of State Council on my life experience with IP. Remember, this program is meant to inspire people like you who may be on the verge of giving up, or perhaps you feel hopeless. You always have to stay tuned every Saturday at 20-30 hours as we dive into these conversations. State Council, welcome and good evening to you.
Good evening, and thank you for having me over with you.
Fantastic. Appearing on a different platform. I know most of the time we host you, or we conversate with you via other bigger platforms. We talk about state of the nation, we talk about the bigger program and breakfast shows. But remember, today we're taking off your jacket as a politician. How does it feel?
It feels that it will then be less hot and be more comfortable. Let me actually practically take
Please
off
do that. Please take off the jacket of a politician.
Yes.
You can actually hang it behind
that is
so that you are comfortable.
Much more comfortable.
Yeah. Yes. Now we are at a fair.
But I've still got one up on you. I've still got my tie.
No, the necktie is okay. I'm not that afraid with the necktie. I was just afraid with the jacket.
The jacket.
Welcome, State Council.
Thank you.
Great. Let's get into it, State Council. The viewers have summoned you this evening on my life experience with IP to just understand who Sekwiba Sikota State Council is. Let's begin with your background, your life journey. When were you born, Sekwiba?
Maybe before I get into that, let me correct 2 points in the intro.
Please do that.
That you made. The first correction is that I was not the first vice president of the United Party for National Development.
Wonderful.
There are two positions of vice presidents at that time. And the first one was actually Dr. Mulirwa. When I went into UPND, at first I went in as chair legal. It's only after about 5-6 months that my colleagues thought that I should be bumped up to become vice president.
Beautiful.
And so that's when I became vice president. So we were two vice presidents.
Okay.
And then we went for elections a few months after that, the actual convention.
Yeah.
I stood for elections and I went through. And unfortunately, Dr. Munira didn't go through. He was challenged by Bob Schinga, and Bob Schinga won. So there were two of us, myself and Bob Schinga, thereafter.
So you had to compete for you to be elected as a vice president of the UPND, you had to go for an election.
Yes. Initially, because when you just formed the party, you can't have the elections immediately then.
Okay.
So initially, before the elections were held, there was Dr. Mulirwa who was appointed.
Okay.
And the other vice president position was vacant.
Okay.
there's somebody who was being courted. Eventually, they didn't come, and I went in as chair legal.
I see.
Yes. But once that other person that they were eyeing didn't come in for that other vice presidential, the other members thought, well, the person perhaps who would best be suited to go there is our legal chair. Let's bump him up to vice president.
Interesting.
So that's when I became vice president.
Okay.
And then we held a convention some 6 months after I had been appointed.
Right.
And at the convention, we had to compete to get those positions. So I managed to get in, and Bob Sichinga also managed to get in.
Right.
The other point I wanted
give clarity.
To give clarity. You said the chairman of UCA and left it as if that is where it ended. Actually, UCA sort of like grew and transformed into WOZA.
Right.
And WOZA equally grew and transformed into the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic. That's the one which we had the convention for last week.
I see.
So it's been growing and growing. And by quite coincidence, it would appear, I was chair of UCA, I was chair of WOZA, and I'm chair of the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic.
I see.
So at least I'm consistent.
That's interesting. We'll get to that later on.
Turning to the question you had.
Yeah.
I was born on the 3rd of January 1960 in Luansha.
So hold on. You are talking about 1960. You are older than Zambia.
I'm older than Zambia by 4 years.
I see. Okay.
So I only stayed in Luansha for about 2 years. My parents then moved over to Lusaka. So if you ask me to take you around Luansha where I was born, I'll probably get you lost in one or two places. I'll do a better job of showing you around Lusaka.
I see.
Yes.
Well.
So even my primary school, therefore, was in Lusaka.
Okay.
I went to North Mid Primary School. At the time, we didn't have North Mid Secondary School.
Okay.
Right now, if you go there, you'll find that at the corner of Paseli Road, there is the secondary school, what they're calling the secondary school, where the swimming pool is as well.
Yes.
And then further down, going eastwards, that's where now the primary school is. At that time, this, which is the secondary school, was the primary school. And that's where we went. And the secondary school was not there. Those were just playing fields and so on. After a few years, I think when I was in grade 5,
yes,
my father got transferred to Mungu.
Right.
So I then went to Mungu Primary School for almost a year.
Who was your father?
Agre Mulala Sikota.
Okay.
Yes. He was a politician, and in fact, a lot of unit meetings would take place at our house because they used to, because of security situation, move around. You know, they would never always have them at the same place, and a number of them were
what we call security concerns today.
Security concerns, but real security concerns.
Okay.
Not these fake security concerns that they put up today. So a good number of them were held there. My mother was a nurse.
Right.
In fact, she was the first state registered nurse in Zambia, the first black state registered nurse.
Wow.
Yes. That's why if you go to Levi Mwanawasa University, the lecture hall for nurses, you'll see that actually they've got Kaperwa Sikota on there. That was my mother. And that's why
don't tell me that.
That's why they've named the lecture hall after her.
Oh.
She was the very first black
registered nurse.
State registered nurse, yes. And she was also very, very militant in terms of her politics and so on.
Right.
That's why, like, even hosting UNIP, some of the UNIP meetings and so on were being done at our house. And then she actually was a one-woman union. I say she was a one-woman union in the sense that, she, like I said, she was the only black state registered nurse. So when she came into work, the white state registered nurses were getting maybe 3-4 times her salary, yet they were the exact same qualification. In the staff dining room, she was not allowed to go into the staff dining room. There was all those kinds of discrimination. And like I said, she was the only one, so she was the one-woman union. She started fighting it.
I see.
She started fighting it.
I hear you.
To the extent that her matter, her issue,
Yes.
was even raised in the British Parliament, in the House of Commons. They actually raised their name by name and said,
yes.
And they tried to defend, to say, no, that is not the case and so on. But because of it getting right up to there, they started changing the way they were treating her, allowing her to be in the staff room and so on. But she did that fighting on her own.
Wow.
Because she was the only one
I hear you.
at that time.
So she had no option but to fight.
She had no option
to the
but
end.
to fight till the end. So even politically, that's why whenever it was needed, and perhaps they had been to these other places too often, these other houses, they would come to our house and have the meetings. This is when we were now back in Lusaka, because like I told you, after 2 years they came back to Lusaka. So grew up in Matero and Lilanda. That's where we grew up. So those meetings some of them would be there. What I then got to learn much later on, even after independence, is that you'd have all these, because they were all comrades, you know. You'd get all kinds of different people who at one time or another would pass through. You'd get the Elijah Mudendas coming in, you'd get the Mainza Chonas, you'd get, you know, all the different leaders. They would, the Changufus, I remember that they would come to our, by then we were staying in North Mead. Right. Yeah, opposite North Mead Primary School. So they would come in and then they would be talking politics and so on. And I was quite inquisitive, so as a 6, 7, 8-year-old boy, I would be there serving them their drinks and listening to all these stories. Trying to
tap into their spirits at a time.
You know, because all of them they spoke so passionately and so graphically that you just wanted to listen, you know, and hear what they were saying. So that was very, very interesting. And some of my uncles, my father's cousins, Sikota winner, Asa winner, they would always also come and would interact with them. Because they were my uncles, it wasn't as if you looked upon them as this strange. It was, oh, this is my uncle, you know what I mean? You're free with them. In fact, I remember one time the three of them went hunting in Kafue National Park. Of course, with licenses, they didn't go poaching.
I love that disclaimer.
So that was my uncle Athawina, dad, and my uncle Sikota winner. They came back with whatever animals they had managed to shoot. And because where we were staying was the first place when you're coming from Western Province.
Right.
We were in North Mid, like I said. My uncle Sikota was out there in past towards Bonaventure.
Yes.
And my uncle Atawina was on Great East Road. So the first place would be to come to our place, since it was the first one on the way. And so when they came out and were taking out things, I started sort of like in between them, trying to see what is what they've brought. And then Uncle Sikota winner stepped on my toe. I felt pain. And I said, ow! And he said, oh, he went, oh, sorry. And then I said, sorry again, you tuleka lebu tuko, meaning sorry when I've already felt the pain. So he burst out laughing when I said that. I said to myself, this uncle of mine, he hurts me and then he starts laughing. But he was laughing at me saying, sorry again, you tuleka lebu tuko, sorry when I've already felt. And by coincidence, the following week, they were at home for something else.
Yeah.
And there's another uncle of mine, Mr. Lichilana, late Lichilana. He's actually one of the people who did the national anthem. Yes, he was quite musical and so on, late Lichilana, my uncle. There was something being done, and then he stepped on my toe, Uncle Lichilana, stepped on my toe. And before I could say anything, he said, oh, sorry. And then Uncle Sikota winner said, sorry, Inga utuleka lebutuku. Sorry when he's already felt the pain. So that was the kind
of moments you had.
Relationships and with Uncle thing, I always remember him for laughing at the sorry ngeno tuleka. So anyway, there was always politicians, always family coming together and meeting. And during holidays, especially the long holidays, would always be sent to the village to go and stay with our grandparents.
Okay, interesting.
So we would go deep into the plains because they had a place in the plains which was theirs. And there's the migration.
Yes.
Now, at other times they would come to the highlands to think. But most of the times when we'd go there, we'd go to the place in the plains, which was really, really out in the boondocks, grass thatch, and so on, and not the one in the highlands. And you had water all around. And you'd go out fishing to fish for what you did, so you'd have fresh fish every single day. And then some of their animals, they brought them there so that you'd have milk and so forth. So you got to get a feel of the
village life.
And village life.
Yeah.
You got to interact with other children, village children, and so on. So you got a grounding of different cultures within our country and different living situations of different people. So you get to understand the difficulties that others have, and also the advantages that others have. Advantages that I used to love, and which when you come back to Lusaka you can't have. In the morning when you get up,
Yes.
You just go to the crawl, and underneath the cow, you start.
Oh, I see. Enjoying the milk.
Enjoying the milk.
I hear you.
So, which is something out here you cannot have.
You can find it here.
No,
I'm saying you can't find it.
You can't find it
Yeah.
here, you know. And then you also had when you'd have festivals.
Yeah.
The community out in the rural area was very different from the community in town.
Right.
Different in that in the rural area, everybody knew each other.
Interesting.
Everybody. Now here
That's a rural setup.
That's a rural setup.
You are always concerned about your neighbor.
Yeah. Here in town, you may not even know who your neighbor is. You may never have even talked to him. But out there, in the rural setting, the time when we were growing up, although it is changing slightly now, but a time when we were growing up, if you're out there and you're being a naughty boy,
Yeah.
anyone in the community, the other ones will see you, they'll tell you, no, that's bad. You're not.
I see.
You know, if you're being police communally. If
Correct.
I may say.
Very correct.
And there wouldn't be anything like, hey, why did you discipline my son? You know, it would be, thanks for setting him right. So there was more sense of community.
Wow. Ubuntu spirit.
Yes.
I am because you are.
Yeah.
You are because I am.
Yeah. And it's something that we have to bring back and to inculcate even into the cities, because that is something that really is helpful. I mean, we had that situation a few years back, is it 2 or 3 years back, when those girls who were doing the Airtel money and so on were kidnapped.
The Pamela Chisomba and the team.
And the team. And they were right in the middle of...
There you go.
And the neighbors didn't know that is happening.
Exactly.
The time when we were growing up there in the rural area, nothing like that could have happened.
I hear you.
You know, because everybody knew.
Becomes a brother's keeper.
Yes. You know, so if we had that, those girls would not have gone through what they went through.
Interesting.
So we lose out in terms
on the
of
cultural values and
cultural
everything
values
like that.
and so on.
Interesting. You mentioned about, I was actually curious to also dive into the Sikota's name. You know, this name is not common, you know.
Yes.
It's not as common as the Piris, you know, the Mlengas, you know, the Hamongas. These are common names.
Yeah.
But the Sikotas are quite few in this country.
The
I
name-
could be wrong.
No, the name is like this. The name Sikota is actually not so rare
Yeah.
as,
I thought so.
As a first name.
Okay.
But as a surname, it's very, very rare. But as a first name, it is not rare. That's how come even my uncle, the one I was telling you about, Sikota, Sikota was his first name.
Correct.
Yeah. He's not my relative because of the name Sikota. No, that's just a coincidence.
I remember covering your late uncle, Sikota, some years back, you know. So in my mind, I thought that was your father.
No. Well, he was my father. You could say that.
I see.
Traditionally.
Traditionally, indeed.
Yeah, he was my father.
Okay.
So it's a common name, but not common as a surname.
Okay.
But common as a first name. Very, very common as a first name.
Right.
Yes.
Wow. And those were giants in our political, you know, conversations, in our political discourse in this country. Those were pillars that, if you grew up during maybe in the 90s, in the 80s, you can't run short of the name Sikota. You can't, you know. But maybe the question is, how was life as you were growing up? You mentioned that you're quite familiar with Lusaka. You know, there's no place where you can get lost in Lusaka. You've mentioned about Copper Belt that you've got, I think, little knowledge around that because you spent
around Luansha.
Around Luansha.
Ndola and Kitwe.
Oh, Luansha.
Yeah, Luansha.
Okay, yeah.
Ndola and Kitwe because of going there often on business and whatnot. Whereas with Luansha, I hardly ever go there.
I see.
Yes.
So how was life as you were growing up as a kid, as a child? Are you coming from a family which, was already established? Or you're coming from a family which was struggling at the time?
Well, there was no real African families which were doing okay. All African families were struggling.
Right.
One cannot say that the standard of living was good. Okay. But at the same time, I must admit that I was fortunate in that since both my parents were in gainful employment, I wouldn't say we were right down there. Yeah. We were between working and middle class. Right. We were there. So at least there was constant food. But in terms of being able to live where you wanted to live and so on, that was not there until, of course, our parents, the freedom fighters, liberated the country. And one thing, though, that I must point out, perhaps for you, you never saw it. There used to be what is called Z magazine. It was but maybe in the archives you may have seen some of them, or maybe you've heard of Z magazine. Yes. Yeah. If you go and pick up any copy of Z magazine, and flip through, because they had lots of pictures in Z magazine, and you flip through, you obviously note that life then was better than today. You'll note it because when you just look at the faces of the people in there, the pictures taken of ordinary people, of teachers, marketeers, policemen, students, when you just look at the pictures themselves, you see very healthy looking people. Very healthy. It's very evident. Right. You don't see somebody who looks like they need food. I hear you. Now you have pictures of marketeers, you have pictures of policemen, of teachers. Who are always in need. Who look as if they haven't had a meal in years. I'm dead serious. Just go and pick up any Z magazine. You look at the clothes that they are wearing. You'll see that, this is really nice and clean clothes that this marketeer at the market is wearing. You can see from the picture that, no, this is, and compare with what you see now, what you see of the teachers, the policemen, even the way they fit in their uniforms. Right. It's very, very evident that the standards of living have gone down. Right. It's very, very evident. Yeah. I think that also the other thing that you notice is the great disparity between the haves and the have-nots in our society. The haves really have life which is, even the people out in Europe would love to have the lives of our haves here. And then you look at the other end of the scale, the level of poverty. As leaders, we should be ashamed that we've got such a wide income disparity gap. We should be ashamed, and we should be focusing on doing something about it. We should actually even, you find that our leaders go out there bragging about how rich they are and flaunting their wealth. I think that's very insensitive. There was, I think, a minister who went to some auction and he bought a chicken, was it for 20,000 kwacha or something ridiculous like that?
Wow.
I'm sure I
saw that. I saw that.
And you think to yourself, how insensitive...
That was on the cover board.
Yes, how insensitive is this? You've got people who are really down, and there you are, in order to show off, say, me, I buy chickens, 20,000, and it's nothing to me. You know? You get people who had very little, and all of a sudden, now that they're ministers or now that they're chairpersons of committees in their party, they've got mansions. And this is just within a period of 3 years of them coming into power. Look at the way their lives have transformed for the better. And then look at the way the lives of the ordinary Zambian has gone downhill. The number of people who are walking to work because they cannot afford a minibus to go to work. So they'll get up 3 in the morning, start bathing, 4 a.m. start walking from wherever it is up to town, because they have to walk about 3 hours to get to the working place. And in the evening again, because they can't afford to get on a bus. So we really need to change and lower that income disparity gap.
Balance the equation.
Balance the equation. We should, I'm not saying that you should not aspire to be rich. Yes, you should. But then you should not be going out there and bragging about it and flaunting it in people's faces.
Right.
You shouldn't be doing that. That's being insensitive.
We'll get to the leadership of yesterday and the leadership of today in a little while from now. But let me just push in one important aspect. You are a lawyer. Today you hold the title of a state counsel. Let's begin from your inspirations. What triggered your mind? How did you become or decide to study law? When? What happened?
This may sound very odd.
Yeah.
I didn't aspire to become a lawyer.
Oh, you didn't aspire?
No, I didn't. What happened is, at the time I finished my high school, by that time my father was in the diplomatic service.
Right.
So I was in school abroad.
Okay.
And when applying for university, because we were abroad, I applied to English universities.
Okay.
And what happens is the application form, you apply to 5 universities on the form, because they have a standard form that you do. And then it's sent to them and then they choose you. I actually wanted to do computer sciences. That's what I wanted to do.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do computer sciences. And I told Dad that I wanted to do computer science. He said, no, you can't do that. No. Computer sciences, you just be a backroom boy. You know? And I said, no, that's what I want to do. That's what so I said, okay, let's make a deal. Half of them apply for law, half apply for
computer sciences.
And then once we get to the whatevers, we'll then discuss further as to which one you go for. So I thought to myself, okay, to get him off my back, I'll do that. But when the results come and they've accepted me, I'll still insist that I want to do the computer sciences. And then, to my horror and surprise, when the results came back, the ones where I'd applied for computer sciences, all of them said no. All the ones for no.
Yes?
Yes.
Interesting.
I didn't know my father was so influential. No, of course he foresaw your future. No, of course he didn't influence that. But that's what then I had no choice but to do law.
Wow.
And then I went and I started doing it.
That was in which year?
That was in 1977.
Wow, it's a long time ago.
Yeah. So
Wow.
then I started thinking to myself, well, this isn't so bad after all. This isn't so bad. And I grew into it and started actually liking it. But
wow.
I had wanted to do computer science. And my father, I think, didn't realize how big it was going to become. At that time,
I see.
he was in that, this boy, what is he doing? I didn't know it would become so big either.
Right.
But it was just that I had the interest.
The interest in it.
I had the interest in it. So actually, the degree I took was a dual degree.
Okay.
I did a majors in law and politics.
Oh.
And I minored in mathematics and psychology. So those are the qualifications I have. I have legal, political, mathematics, and psychology.
Wow.
Of course, maths and psychology at subsidiary level, and the other one as the main. Yeah. So after graduating, of course, to practice, you have to go to. Then it was called Law Practice Institute.
Okay.
Now it's called Ziale.
Yes.
You have to go to LPI. I went there. I managed to pass on first sitting, and then my father knew several law firms. He told me that he was going to speak to his friends. In particular, he said he would speak to State Council Mahenza Chona.
Okay.
He would speak to State Council Daniel Isulo. And he would speak to Mr. Musa Dudia. And I thought to myself, no, I don't want that. All these were very, very, very good high-end firms.
Yes.
But the thought of going to a place where he has sort of talked to his friends didn't sit well with me. So I went.
So you didn't want to get into an institution via connection?
Via connection, yes. And I got no doubt they would have taken, taken me
I see.
in, because I mean they were friends.
They were friends, exactly.
And so on. So instead, I went to Solly Patel and Lawrence. I went to them because all three were actually lecturers at the Law Practice Institute.
Right.
Solly in conveyancing, Ali in civil, Lawrence in domestic relations. So I knew them because of them thing. My father didn't know them, I knew them. And because they also knew me, since they were all my lecturers, they were satisfied to have me because they knew me, having been lecturers of mine. So that's where I started work, at Solly Patel and Lawrence. And after about 3.5 years of working there, there was late Judge Muziamba, who used to be the one looking after the firm for late Chigaga.
Right.
And late Muziamba was just about to be appointed judge.
Right.
So there was nobody to run Chigaga and Company for late Chigaga. So he approached me. I don't know who recommended that he should approach me, but he approached me and asked whether I would be interested to become a junior partner who would be looking after the firm. I loved being at Solly Patel and Lawrence. It was a great place to work, great place to work. But that challenge of running a firm, that's what grabbed me. So I went and saw the people at Solipatel, me and Lawrence, and told them that this is what was there, and I was thinking about it. Are they going to be? And they encouraged me. They said, no.
Go for it.
Go for it. Go for it. So I went there, and there was a junior partner. And then after about another 3-4 years, I and 2 other colleagues brought in 2 other people, apart from myself, bought off the late Chagwa, and we bought the firm. And then after some time, that's when I changed it to Central Chambers. So I've only had 2 employers. The first one was government.
Right.
Because what I missed out is that when I finished LPI, I then started lecturing at NIPA. At NIPA proper, not LPI, but NIPA proper.
Okay.
So I would lecture like civil servants on the civil service regulations, medical people on legal medical issues, surveyors also had a component which was legal. I would lecture them on the legal part of their course. And at the same time as I was doing that, I decided to do a postgrad diploma in international law and diplomacy here at UNZA.
Right.
So I was doing that, and I graduated from there with the postgraduate diploma in international law and diplomacy.
Yeah.
After that is when I went to Solipatel and Lawrence. And also because I had actually done my attachment, because you need to do, when you're at LPI, you need to do attachment. I did my attachment at Solipatel, me and Lawrence.
Okay.
So they had 2 points at which to
pick you, to incorporate you.
Yeah, they lectured me, so they knew me, and also I did my attachment there, so they knew what
your
kind
background,
of work ethics
your performance,
and so on. So that's why it was easy to go there. And then after that, with Chagwa and Company, I was no longer employed, but although a junior partner, it meant that I was working for myself. So since 1985, I've been self-employed.
From 1985?
Yes, I've been.
You've been your own boss?
I've been my own boss.
Your own employer?
My own employer. So, in fact, it makes me somebody who, if I'm somewhere, let's say I get into government and find that the things that are happening are not the right things or correct things, it's not that I'll be going into government for a job.
Right.
All my life, I've not needed a job. I've been my own employer. So if I saw that things were not being right, I would say, no, this is not what I came here for.
Correct.
And I would resign.
Because you are a government on your own.
And I wouldn't want to have somebody make me do wrong things for the sake of employment. I don't need that employment. But I've got a really deep passion to try to serve the Zambian people. It is truly a passion to try to serve them, you know. And it's not about me, but about really wanting to serve.
It's interesting. Let's briefly talk about your law practice. I mean, for many decades now, you've been into law practice. What are some of the exciting moments you've experienced in the law practice for all these years you've been around? Let's begin from the positive note.
Don't look at me like I'm crazy, right. But the most exciting part of my law practice is when I was arrested. Don't look at me like I'm crazy.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I will not judge you.
Don't look at me like I'm
and
crazy.
I hope the viewers not judge you.
I was arrested. I think was it 92 or 93 or something like that in the 90s.
What did you do?
I was arrested for a traffic violation. There's more to it than that. There's more to it than that.
What is there? I think these are the stories State Council people don't hear about where you're coming from and the difficulties you've endured. They just see you as a State Council, and this big politician.
I was arrested for a traffic violation. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting is that when I appeared in court, I had over 50 lawyers.
No, you can't tell me that.
I'm telling you, it's a fact. I had over 50 lawyers.
50 lawyers?
Yes.
Wanting to represent you?
Yes. Perhaps let me give you the backstory.
Oh my gosh. Please do that.
That's only to make some sense.
Correct.
At the time, we were representing first Republican President Kenneth Kaunda.
Okay.
There were 8 of us who were representing him on those treason charges. That's what makes it so funny. The person who was on treason charges had 8 lawyers. The one who had the traffic offense had 50 lawyers.
It's quite unique, for sure.
What had happened is, whilst we were defending President Kaunda, at that time, it was in the Supreme Court building, those ones which are the Supreme Court buildings. That's where the trial was taking place. And we used to park in front of the Supreme Court building. And that's what we were doing every day. One day, I don't know for what reason, the police decided that we should no longer be parking there. And it just so happened to be a day when I was almost late for court. I still had, or maybe just 2 minutes or so to get into the courtroom. So I parked in the usual place, closed the vehicle and was going up the stairs. And this policeman comes running, no, you can park there, move your vehicle, move your vehicle. I said, no, but we all, no.
I'm late.
I said, I'm late. Okay, when I come out, I'll move it. And I went into the courtroom. And we did a thing. Now, lunchtime, when we were finished, I come out, look for my car, it's not there.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, it's not there. Look around, my car is not there.
Your vehicle disappeared?
Yeah, they had come and apparently lifted up and towed it away. And then once I'm looking, these 2 policemen come and grabbed you. Me. He says, yes, we've been waiting for you. I say, where's my car? Come, that's you. And took me to Central Police. Take off your shoes, take off your belt. Why? No. Failing to obey a traffic officer. By then,
that's funny indeed.
By then, word spread that I had been taken in to thing, and some of my colleagues came. I remember one of them was Nelly Muti, the current speaker. She was one of the ones who came to
represent you.
At the police station.
Okay, to see you.
To see me.
Oh,
I was behind the counter, shoes off, belt off.
I see.
And I think it was even a Friday. I think it might even have been a Friday. So I was going to spend the weekend in the cell. The other one who came is Sachika there was a lawyer, Sachika.
Okay.
He also came he was one of the lawyers as well who was representing KK. And they managed to convince the DPP that, look, this kind of offense, why are you going to put it? So they didn't lock me up, but they still insisted that I appear.
The matter goes to court.
Goes to court, and I appear in court. So word went round. On the day when I was supposed to take plea, this is not it's not a joke, it's real.
I hear you.
50 lawyers came up to place themselves on record that they were representing me.
Don't tell me.
So the whole courtroom was full just of lawyers.
Oh, no.
Because there were 50 of them. So one by one, they would get up and say, I'm Sekwiba Sikota from Central. Of course, I wasn't representing myself. I'm just using it as I'm Sekwiba Sikota, Central Chambers, and I'm one of the lawyers representing the accused. They sit down. The next one comes up. It took the whole morning.
Doing the introductory.
Then the court set a date for when the trial would commence. So we went off. And then before that date, and no, they went. And it died like that.
That's how the case ended.
That's how the case. So when you ask me about the case which really sticks in my mind,
I've never heard such
it's
before.
the one where I got
Exactly,
arrested.
exactly. I mean, I've heard and also witnessed quite a number of court cases, but also covered some of them. I don't know if there is any case which has had 50 lawyers.
No, I hold the record.
Exactly, you do.
I hold the record.
You do.
Yeah. But what is really nice about that? It's not that nice that they came for. What is nice is that the legal profession came together
in unison.
In unison.
Correct.
And when they did come together, it was so powerful that the state just had to enter a nole.
That sent shivers into them.
And I think that as a legal profession, we need to get back to those days where when we see something is wrong,
I get the message.
we should all come together and make a statement.
Correct.
That is something that we need to
By so doing, we'll be able to sharpen a society we want.
Yes. And also keep those in government in check for them to know that they cannot just do anything that they wish to do, that they have to do things in a proper legal way.
Beautiful, beautiful. You've mentioned about Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, of course, up to the time was charged with those treason charges, allegations, which of course did not yield any positive results at the end of the day. I also do remember that there was a time at which KK was declared stateless, after serving this country.
Him in that case,
after diligently having served this country, Dr. KK, for many years, 27 years, the man is out of power, and people are saying this man is a foreigner.
What is worse than that? What is worse?
Yes.
That is bad. It's very, very bad. But for me, what seemed to be even worse was when they went to search his premises, brought in cameras and everything, armed police and everything, that it's believed he has stolen things from State House. Wow. Cameras rolling the whole day, and he was there. He just stood the whole time they were doing that. He stood with his hanky, just looking very calm and everything, looking at them. And then at the end of the day, from morning till, they were doing the search, they say, we found 2 books from the State House library.
Books.
Books. Books. We found 2 books from the State House library. even if they were from the State House Library, even if they were, do you really think that he went out there to steal them? I mean, you're packing up lots of things.
Yes, correct.
And there's 2 books. Even if they were from State House, are you going to embarrass your former head of state?
The founding father of the country.
Father of the country. Over 2 books.
And then you spent the whole day carrying out a search.
With armed people, you know what I mean? Like he's committed treason or something like that. You know? That, I think, was extremely sad. We should be sensitive with certain things we do. I think that is along similar lines with the issue of the burial of the current president. We should not be having things of that sort happening. We should not. That thing should be resolved quickly. It is saddening that we have such things happening. I don't know why we always want to make our former heads of states embarrassed, or their families embarrassed. I don't know why. It's something that happens repeatedly. I mean, the same happened with Rupiah Banda.
Correct.
You know, I represented him as well in that matter. And you think to yourself, why do we do that? Are the people who come into power so lacking in confidence that they must destroy the one who was before them? That shows a distinct lack of confidence in yourself. Why is there a need to do that? Absolutely no need. We need to change that. We're a laughing stock out there. We are. We are a laughing stock out there in the rest of the world.
Beyond Dr. Kaunda, who was persecuted, if that word is correct.
It's correct.
I want you to confirm as a lawyer.
It's correct.
Was he persecuted or prosecuted? Which one?
He was prosecuted and persecuted.
Wow.
Prosecuted wrongly, and that's why it returned into persecution.
Right. Chiluba also comes in, the man who was at the helm of persecuting his predecessor at the time in Dr. Kaunda, declaring him as a man without a country. He was called, no, he was from Malawi, from other countries. Again, fast forward, Chiluba, 20 years in power, he comes out later on, not 20 years in power, 10 years in power of Dr. Chiluba. When he got out of power as well, the same spirit, the same behavior followed him. He himself, again, he was taken to court. Later on, he was accused that he was coming from, again, another country, or so many countries, Congo, and stuff like that. What happened? You were there during that time. Share with us.
I think that one of the bad things about all of those persecutions is that the sitting president at the time, and each one of them, made very prejudicial comments regarding the cases.
Right.
You know, when you are president, you should not then be saying, I know IP what he did, and we're going to make sure that IP is going to pay for what he did.
Right.
Unless he comes and he maybe agrees to bring back the money that he stole, IP is going in. You're prejudicing the case.
I see.
You've already judged
You're
that person to be guilty. It's not right. We must stop doing that. When you are head of state, if you are asked about any legal matter which is in court or is about to go into court, if you are a decent human being and a proper leader, you will decline to comment and say it is up to the courts to look at the matters. To do anything else is wrong. To do anything else, I would venture to even say, is something that should lead to impeachment. Because you are abusing your powers and your position to disadvantage citizens. You should never do that. Never. So we need to change that. And I think that we need basically a fourth republic.
Right.
That is the reason why a group of us who are in it not for positions, who are in it not to make financial gain, who are in it not to revenge against anybody, have come together and formed the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic. That Fourth Republic must do away with things such as those which have been happening repeatedly. That Fourth Republic should be people-centered, citizen-centric. That Fourth Republic is supposed to ensure that no matter which part of Zambia you come from, it doesn't matter. What matters is your skill and your capability. That Fourth Republic will make sure that there is true transparency. If we have mining contracts, everybody should know what are the terms of those mining contracts. If we give a contract to somebody to build a highway, that should be made absolutely public, that anybody can go and look at it. And in fact, even before it is entered into, the people should have a say in it, in that you say, we are proposing to go into this agreement.
Direction.
What are your thoughts? Because Zambia is supposed to be for the citizens. It is not supposed to be for the leaders and their friends. Zambia is for the citizens. And the Fourth Republic is going to ensure that Zambia becomes again for the citizens. We get back to the days where if we revive Z magazine, remember I was telling you about Z magazine?
Correct.
The pictures in there will show...
tell a story, a positive story.
Positive story.
It should define the welfare of the people.
Of the people. So that is what us in the Zambia Alliance for a Fourth Republic want. And also to bring together people who do not have a history of having done wrong.
Right.
Put together a slate of people who, when the Zambians look at that slate, will also think, yes, that looks like it's a group of people who can do something positive for our country. There's no one single person, no one single person who can fix it all.
Right.
Or,
that's powerful.
Or who can fix most of it. There's no one single person. It's got to be the coming together of various ideas, various skills, various talents that will create a situation where you actually get good resolution of problems that we have.
Interesting.
If you look at independence in run-up to 1964, it wasn't that it's only Kaunda. Right. Yes, he was important in the thing, and he was a good part of it, but he wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
You had the Kapwepwes, you had the Sikota winners, you had the Mudendas.
Correct. The Aka winners.
You had so many others.
The mines that owners have mentioned them.
Yeah. They formed a team. So that when you looked at the team, you got a sense of, yes, these people probably can do something. Apart from that, that team represented the whole country. The whole country. There wasn't that regionalism and so on. It represented the whole country. That's why you could even have somebody like Sikota winner who's not from the north going and stand in Chingola.
Yeah. Correct. That was quite unique, huh? Quite unprecedented.
So many things.
The Simon Zukas would go and stand to any part of the country.
So we need That's the view of the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic. That's our view. That we need to recreate that. And it worked. It got us independence.
Right.
It's not the only time that a team has done what is necessary. Even 1990-91, it wasn't Frederick Chiluba on his own. It was the team. And in fact, there are some people who thought Frederick Chiluba was not qualified.
Yes.
But they thought, but when you look at the team, it balances out. You know?
Correct.
So the team is what managed to get us into the Third Republic. And again, when there was an attempt to go into the third term, what stopped the third term was not one individual, it was a team.
It was not the people outside the MMD, but it was the people within the MMD and those outside the MMD.
Yes.
It was the team.
It was the team. And hats off to the 22 being the ones who were in MMD.
Yeah.
To leave the party which is in power, and with some of them, they actually even were holding ministerial positions.
Correct.
To move away from that to say, we have to do what is right for Zambia, not what is right for ourselves.
Fighting your own party.
I take my hat off to them. But you get Bill 7. None of them had the strength of character that the 22 had. Not a single one of them. In fact, some of the people in the opposition, some of them were even bought off. That is sad.
One would say those members from the UPND, they were being loyal to their party they served.
No.
So they couldn't.
You should be loyal.
Go the defined way.
You should be loyal, first of all, to the Zambian people and the constitution. Your party should be down there. Right. You cannot say, I'll be loyal to my party first. If your party is doing the wrong things, you must be loyal to the people of Zambia and the constitution of Zambia first. And your party comes under that. If you're going to say you're going to be loyal to your party over loyalty to the Zambian people and the constitution, you do not deserve to be in government. You do not deserve to be there. We need to bring about a new way of thinking. The Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic is going to do that. And that's why we need to move from the Third Republic to the Fourth Republic. That is absolutely necessary. One of the things which struck me, and I was wondering, is the Attorney General not seeing what he is saying?
What do you mean?
With Bill 7, civil society, the churches, professional bodies like LAS, the opposition, everybody was saying, this Bill 7, this is not the right time for it. Put it off until after the elections and do it properly and do a wholesome review. And they said, no, this is okay, this is going to, it's needed and everything. And people were saying, this is not going to last if you're going to do it in this fashion. Even the Constitutional Court told them, no, you're doing it wrong. But they ignored all that, pushed it through, in spite of what the people were saying. I think it came through, was that thing? December, end of December, right?
Yes.
Yeah, end of December. We've not even gone 6 months. This is the third month after December, isn't it?
Correct.
The third month after December, the Attorney General goes and announces that there's a need for us to do away with this constitution and we are going to repeal it and
come up with
a new one. I couldn't believe he was saying that. Everybody was saying, do this properly after. This thing will not last. They said, no. they pushed it through. Now, it hasn't even lasted 6 months. They're saying
Within
we
2
need to
months.
get rid of it. We need to get it, it's useless, we need to get rid of it.
He said after the elections, we'll need to have a new constitution.
Yes. So why did you push it through?
Wow.
Why did you have so much contentious discussion around it? Why did you put the Constitutional Court in the embarrassing situation where they've said what you're doing is wrong, you start doing exactly the same thing again? What do you expect the Constitutional Court to do? And you're pushing it through.
Can we say that they were maybe complying to other voices coming from the CSOs? Because in as much as some people, including yourselves, you said no to Bill 7, and some people, of course, protested against Bill 7. But others, they endorsed that.
I hear you. I'll come to that. Let me just finish this point out, and then I'll directly come to that.
Right.
You create a situation where you put the Constitutional Court in a totally embarrassing situation. You create a situation where you cause the legislature to abandon its rules and everything in order to accommodate you and make them look as if they are not an equal arm of government. You create that mess in terms of our constitution for something that within 3 months you're going to say is useless and you'll have to get rid of it. Why did you put us through all that expense? All that expense if you knew that after the election you're going to change it? I think that for that very, very reason, Zambians should not vote them back in. If they can do such a thing,
wow,
they do not deserve to be coming. Now, to answer the thing you're talking about, the CSOs and so on, there are those which are, can you put some of those CSOs, give them the same weight as the Catholic Church? Which one is weightier?
Well, but I will tell you that there's
which one is
no church is bigger than the other. There's no tribe which can be deemed to be bigger than the...
I didn't say between the churches.
No, you said which one would beat maybe the Catholic Church, for example. Yeah, so I'm trying to amplify that argument as well, that others and a church will tell you that there's no church or voice which is bigger than the other voice.
I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Don't worry. When I promise I'll come to it, I always do.
You will eventually come back.
Yeah. Now, you can weigh how long has this thing existed, this organization? What is its track record? And you can weigh.
Right.
Of course, it's subjective, but still more, one can make a subjective assessment. And quite clearly, if you look at those who are saying no, don't, and those who are saying yes, it's like that.
The prominence here.
Yeah, it's like that. There's no doubt about that. But let's say it wasn't. Let's say it was equal. Let's say. These people were saying they're going through with this because these are non-contentious. That was their justification, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, if you have two opposing parties who are failing to agree, you cannot use the word that it's non-contentious. Then it's very contentious. You can. So
but the mere fact that people are not agreeing, it becomes contentious.
Either way they lose out. Either way. They can't make that argument. I'm sure you see the point I'm making. And as a result, you have this ridiculous situation where we're going to have the shortest lived constitution in the history of Zambia. There's no other constitution which would be as short-lived as this one. That is because it was done for ill motive. It wasn't done with... Let
me take you back briefly, State Council, of course, as we begin to count down to our show. I will skip maybe Rupia Banda, who also went through the same, court process, immunity having been removed at the time. But of course, as a country, I would say we gained nothing from those allegations which were leveled against Rupia Boys and Banda. We come to, of course, Michael Sata. Maybe because of his death, might have helped him to escape through that. Mwanawas as well, through death, he might have escaped through that. We jump and come to Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the late again. ECO, you seem to have been your friend, your close friend. Each time you would eulogize you, you know, you call, I want to call my friend Saki. How did you come to know or to connect with ECO? Let's begin from there.
Through the legal field, there are some cases that we did together, and then there's in fact one big case that we did to get to. There are several, but the one of them that I can talk about is the Gabon disaster. If you recall, the Gabon disaster victims were represented by myself and late President Edgar. Of course, then he wasn't president. Edgar Lungu. We are the ones who managed to get them the compensation paid out to them that they had.
Beautiful.
And then there's other cases that we worked on together. Some of them for the Post newspapers.
Yes.
There's 1 or 2, 3 that we worked on together with him on behalf of the Post newspapers. And those were, the Post newspaper cases were always very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
There were, anyway, I'll come back to them. Otherwise, I'll sidetrack
no
too
problem.
much from, from your question. And so we had that relationship. Following the Gabon disaster matter, we then also linked up in that we became business partners.
Oh.
Yeah, in one item.
Okay.
That item being there's a building that we got. It wasn't just it wasn't just late President Lungu and myself. There were others who were also partners, equal partners, and we had late Andrea Masia.
Okay.
He's a lawyer. He was also a partner. We had Judge Nicola Sharp-Piri. Then, of course, she wasn't judge. She was a partner. And we had another partner. I smile because it makes it a very interesting mix of partners. The other partner
was that?
Being Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti.
Our own speaker?
Yes.
Wow.
So you've got a very interesting mix.
Oh my goodness. So you were a family. You know, you worked together.
Yes.
Yourself, Speaker Nelly Muti, ECO, late Andrew Masie, among others.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a very interesting mix.
It is.
I think I've had quite an interesting life.
No, you have. No, you've had it.
So moving along as to how my relationship with the late president. When I was chair, remember I told you that I was chair of the UPND legal.
Yes.
At that time, each chair was asked to set up a subcommittee of 10 in their grouping. Okay. So I had to find 10 lawyers. He's one of the lawyers. I brought the late president into
UPND. I hear you. So you recruited him.
I recruited him. So I was his boss.
I see.
Years later, he would become my super boss.
Wow. At national level.
At national level.
A quite dramatic story indeed, life journey, eh?
Yeah. So we've had that that relationship. And of course, later on, when we first formed UCA, he also was part of it. So there's been that relationship.
Right.
Even though he was my friend, it's not that we agreed on everything.
Right.
So even in the run-up to the last elections, he did ask me to campaign for him, but I did let him know that no, there are certain things which I think I mean I appreciated him as a person and everything, but there were certain things about his party which I was
not comfortable with.
Not comfortable.
Yeah.
And he understood.
Right.
You know, so
he respected that.
He respected that, and I didn't go out campaigning against him or for him. If you remember last election,
Yes.
I just stood by the
Correct. I remember
by the sidelines, and I think that politics should not be something which sets you apart.
You know why I'm smiling right now? When you mentioned that in the last election, you didn't participate, you didn't side with anyone, but you just stood by the sides. It reminds me the words of the late Desmond Tutu, who said, you cannot be a human being or a normal human being who would want to remain neutral. A human being should take sides. It's either you are for the oppressors or you are against the oppressors.
No,
I don't know if that works with you.
No, if I met Desmond Tutu, I would say, imagine that you are on the top of this hill. It's best you remain neutral. You go this side, you go down the cliff. You go this side, you go down the cliff. Safer to remain neutral.
That is, State Council practicing law and interpreting my statement. Please proceed.
Yeah. So that's what I would say.
I hear you. I get you. Okay, so let's begin to count down. You and ICO, the relationship you had in UCA, your main aim was to unite the opposition, to build one strong opposition ahead of the election come this year, 2026. Would you say that you achieved your mission? Because it was under your reign as the chairman for UCA, for UCA. When we saw a lot of confusion, to the extent where even ICO himself decided to abandon you and the UCA, which today is never talked about it. I don't know what went wrong. Maybe you can take advantage.
No. I think that with everything, you have a metamorphosis.
Right.
You'll have a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. So you have UCA. It will mold away some, like in a metamorphosis. Some parts will mold away. And then you have metamorphosis into a beautiful butterfly. So a similar kind of thing happened. Those other parts which were molded away were important at that stage.
Right.
But in this new formation, they are not there, but they've left a formation which is beautiful. Like a butterfly, a beautiful thing. Now that butterfly did not
is that butterfly flying?
That butterfly did not just remain on its own.
Okay.
That butterfly also merged with others into Woza.
Right.
Which was larger and more beautiful than the butterfly. Woza did not just remain like that. Woza, as you have seen, merged with others as well.
Right.
And came up to become the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic.
Right.
A very beautiful entity. An entity which, like those founding fathers of ours in 1964, provides a team that you can look at and say, yes, that looks like a team that can do the job. Provide the team like that 1990-91 MMD slate. Provide the team like that slate which said no to the third term. So we are producing a slate which will do important things for our country, just like those other slates, that will take us from this failed Third Republic into a Fourth Republic, where truly you will have the judiciary being independent, where truly the legislature will be a check on the executive and not a praise singer.
How will you do that if you were to be ushered into power? How will you make the three arms of government be truly independent? Will it be via another amendment to the Constitution, or you leave the Constitution the way it is, but you actualize the realities?
With the Fourth Republic, what the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic will do is we're going to bring in a new constitution.
Right.
But that new constitution will not be driven by us. That new constitution will truly, truly be driven by the people in the manner in which the Constitutional Court had said it should be done.
Right.
We shall make sure that we follow what was there, so that the constitution that comes up will be truly the people's constitution, so that we, the people, will make sense, and it's not just there for window dressing.
Right.
And one of the things that we will be encouraging Zambians to consider, of course it's up to the Zambians to decide, we would ask them to consider making it that you lessen the powers of the president. All these appointments, really, all of them should truly go for vetting by the legislature.
Right.
And that ratification process must be a true one. Not currently where you have names are taken to various organizations, whether it's to Law Association of Zambia, whether it's to ACC and these various bodies. You find that at times maybe Law Association of Zambia will say, no, that one is not qualified. Or ACC will say, this person, there were these queries about them.
Yeah.
But when it goes to Parliament, that report from Law Association of Zambia, look at it. They look at the one from ACC, say, no, let them come through.
Wow.
Those reports should mean something.
Right.
The whole reason of having them is so that you have proper vetting of people who go into those positions.
Right.
Once they've been put in those positions, you should not have a situation where they can just easily be thrown out. There must be true security of tenure. The Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic will be urging Zambians to critically look at that. You need to have a situation where the people in the judiciary feel that they truly have got security of tenure, that if they make a decision which is against the government, it doesn't mean that that's the end of their work. And it's really surprising that during the time of what is supposed to have been the harshest government, because it was a one-party state, the unit government, you had a situation where the president's own son,
Correct.
whilst the president is a sitting president, not an ex-president, no, a sitting president, is convicted and sentenced to death by a judge.
And the president is just watching.
And the president doesn't go and say, you have been removed and whatnot. The president lets the thing go up to appeal. Okay, eventually on appeal in the Supreme Court, the thing was in. But the point is, that judge did not get hounded.
Right.
Imagine today. So the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic wants us to get to a situation where you're not afraid to post something on the internet because of these cybersecurity laws. In fact, one of the main things that we've said is that within the first sitting of Parliament, when we come in, the Cyber Security Act will be repealed.
Wow.
Within the first
Sitting of Parliament.
Yes. It's something which is so straightforward to do and easy to do. You don't need to, there's no excuse you can give for not doing it. When you've promised the people you'll do that.
Right.
You should not become a liar and not do what you promised.
Interesting. We have to go, State Council. My last question to you, how sellable is Kapembwa Simbao? Let's start from there. You've also brought in Yusuf Dodia as well, yourself as a chairperson. When you look at yourselves in there, one will just look at the faces and look at yourselves. I think there's something maybe lacking there. Why from the time you elect these members, or you were elected into the leadership, but you have not seen people, jumping to join you? Said, we now have direction here. What will be your comment around that as we go?
My comment is this. Kapembwa Simbao is a very good candidate. There are so many positives about him.
Right.
Some of the positives, in no particular order, are that he is somebody who is very thoughtful. If you hear him speaking, he speaks sense. You may not agree, but you can see that it is a sensible thing and it is well thought
measured.
It's measured. The measurement is the other thing. I don't know whether Kapembwa Simbao knows any swear words. Because I've never utter any swear word or speak ill of anybody. I've been, I'm not knowing him for the first time now. I was in Parliament when he was in Parliament, when he was a minister with MMD. That's the time when I was in Parliament. So I've known him. Even in the debates in Parliament, you can see that this is somebody who thinks. The third thing, which is positive about him, is that in spite of us recognizing that he's got a sharp brain, he doesn't go around believing that he's the one who knows it all. That he has all the...
He still wants to behave as though he doesn't know.
No. He wants to listen.
Right.
It's not just a question of behaving. It's what you want to... He wants to listen. Right. And he listens. And then he will evaluate what you have said and come up with a position. What I was telling you that one of the problems we have is this Messiah complex thing that only I know. I will fix it. Nobody else can fix it. That is absolutely wrong, and it shouldn't.
And that perhaps has engulfed the opposition, the Messiah syndrome.
Not just opposition, even the ones who are in power, and especially the ones who are in power. I'm not talking about just these ones.
Right.
When you go down the thing. Counter started off well, and then he got to a point where you're saying "Kumulu lesa," that kind of thing. It's crept in. The fourth very important matter is that he is somebody who does believe in teamwork, and is not somebody who's full of himself. The fifth aspect is that he is somebody who knows how government runs. Because I told you years ago he was a minister. So you're not getting somebody who's got no idea of how government runs, but somebody who actually knows, who has been there. And he's been in critical ministries.
Ministerial positions.
Yes,
correct.
Critical ones, so, which really are needed in this country.
Right.
The sixth thing is that having been in government, having been minister, you can go back in the newspapers and whatnot and everything. There's not a single scandal that you'll find associated to him. Not a single one.
Yeah.
Turning to Yusuf Dodia. He is somebody not stained by being part of any corrupt government or anything like that. He has not been. Secondly, he is somebody who understands business. You've seen him on various fora talking about business and explaining things. And talking about explanation, he's somebody who doesn't get over technical when he is talking to ordinary people about the economy. He breaks it down in a manner where
a common man can understand.
The man on the Kalingalinga minibus will understand. You know?
Correct.
So that is
right.
Advantage. The fourth advantage, of course, is right now we have these divisions in our country where you've got tribe and region and so on. And I must say, you also have divisions with regards to ethnicity. It shows you that this is a group of people who are for everybody. You know, he's a Zambian, yes, but it's just a different color. Zambian too.
A different skin complexion.
Different skin complexion. And that should make all our brothers and sisters feel, yes, we are part of this.
Right.
You have others, but those are the two top ones.
Main
because of time.
faces,
yeah,
we have to
faces.
go. Yeah.
And like I said, it's a team. It's a team. And we are going to be having a press conference very shortly,
right,
where the full, not the full extent, but the expanded team will be shown.
Right.
One of the reasons that there is a bit of a delay on it is we've, contrary to what you are saying, we've been having a large number of people who are excited by the formation who are contacting us.
Ah, okay. Right.
Yeah. And we are meeting to evaluate where can we fit this one and so on and all that. Sometimes you were thinking of putting somebody forward in this position, and then there's somebody else going to say, maybe that one better there.
I see.
So that's
so you have to be strategic.
Yes, we need to do that.
Right.
We need to do it in a manner where it's not just like anybody comes and say, okay, you are there. We
for the sake of you joining, there's a position for you.
Where you may even get somebody who perhaps everybody knows that, oh, that one there is a crazy fellow. And just because it's somebody joining you, you even put up big
press briefing.
So and so.
I know those things very well.
Where you're just looking at numbers. We're not looking at just numbers.
Right.
We are focused on quality. Quality is very important.
Right.
Because it's not the numbers which will change the lives of the Zambian people. It's the quality of the people you put there that will change the lives of the Zambian people. And the Zambia Alliance for the Fourth Republic is going to be doing things so different from others.
State Council, thank you so much for coming through to my life experience with IP.
No, thank you. You've made me destroy even my books by throwing them on the ground.
It's okay, we'll pick them later on. All right, I've been speaking to State Council Sekwiba Sikota, of course, who is a lawyer, but also a politician, trying to share his life background, his journey, what he's been through, the successes, but also the challenges he has endured over the years. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my life experience with IP, and I am your host, Innocent Piri. We'll be back again next week. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night.